back. You're watching Tractor Hoarders. I'm working on my friend's tractor again today. What we're going to be doing in this video is I'm going to be showing you how to install the front angling cylinder kit. Now, if you've watched the videos of me plowing snow with my 10-25R, you'll know that I have the front angling cylinder kit, and I use that to angle the blade back and forth. Currently, as it is on this one, this just has a regular front quick hitch without that angling kit, so that means the blade is always in the straight position. We're going to change that by adding this kit on. Let me show you how easy it is. Alright, so this front angling cylinder kit is John Deere part BLV 10880, and when you get the kit, it's just going to look like this. You'll see mainly there's a hydraulic cylinder in here that's wrapped up. You got hoses, and you got a couple pins and hydraulic fitting. That's pretty much what the kit consists of. Now, as it was shipped to us, this kit did not come with instructions, so we're just going to piece this together, and I'll show you guys how we do it. Alright, so I've decided to lay these parts out so we can just take a quick visual look at them. You got the cylinder, which I already showed you. We have this package, which basically has different pins and bolts we'll be using. This has the hydraulic couplers in it. Loose was this additional hanger. In addition, we have the two hydraulic hoses. You'll notice the ends have different color-coded caps in them. On the smaller end, they have red caps. On the larger end, they have blue caps. It's not that the hose is any different, it's that the fittings on the end of the hose are different, and that's what the difference is in the sizes. It's the fittings. Alright, so you're going to need to look at the cylinder and figure out which end is the rod end and which end is the fixed end. Now, the way to do that is really just take a close look at the end here. You can see this one, there's no seals or anything, so this is the fixed end. Some people call it the head end. And then on this side, this is where the rod is, and that's what's going to go in and out. So we've identified those. It's important to know which end is what as we move forward in the installation. Alright, I'm going to get everything pieced together here. I'm just going to leave all the connections kind of loose, and then as we get them mounted onto the front hitch, that's when we'll tighten things up. I'm going to start by taking the caps off of the cylinder. I'm going to take these red caps off of the hoses, and you'll notice there are 90-degree fittings that have yellow caps. Those are going to go on first, followed by these 90-degree fittings that have a black O-ring. That's actually what's going to go into the hydraulic cylinder. Now on this end, with the blue caps, I'm going to take off those caps. I'm going to install the 90s with the O-ring facing the quick connect coupler. Okay, we got those on there. I'm going to wait to put those dust caps on till later. Now let's start fitting this onto the hitch. To give you guys some better viewing angles for this video, I'm going to remove the front blade from the quick hitch. Now, John Deere actually does recommend taking the front hitch off of the tractor to install this kit. I don't really see any reason to, so I'm going to leave it on there. Alright, so now I got you kind of a close-up of the quick hitch. If you have a quick hitch that does not have this angling kit, and maybe you've got the front snowblower, because that's something you would typically run in a fixed position, you're going to want to take this pin out. This is the centering pin that is used to just hold the position of the front hitch. I'm just going to put it to the side for right now, and you'll notice that without that in there, now this is allowed to pivot. So what we're going to take note of is this hole here, and then also there's another hole back here, and that's where the ends of the cylinder are going to connect at, both of these points. This isn't an exact science. Might be some trial and error here. Alright, I know that pin's got to go down more, but that at least kind of puts me in position here. Now on this end, you're going to close the hitch up and you're going to put this pin in there. I actually went ahead and hit in the cold rolled pin here on this end. You're going to need to do that as well. Try and tap this in. So now this cylinder is attached to the quick hitch. I'm going to see if I can angle this the other direction and pull the rod out of the cylinder, just gently. There we go. So I've lowered the hitch down so I can see a little bit better in there. Looks like I need to rotate this just a tiny bit, like that. So part of my alignment problem is the position of this fitting. I'm going to loosen it up. That'll let that hose move. We're going to put this back in there, line it up, drop the pin through, just like that. That went all the way through. And now I'm going to re-tighten the fittings for the hydraulics. Okay, those are looking pretty good. Push these hoses where they're gonna go. That way. Now, on the bottom sides of those pins I put through, the one here in the front and the one back here in the rear, both of those pins need a cotter pin put through them on the underside. Alright, that one's in there. I'll probably spread it apart more after we test this out and make sure everything works. Alright, here we are looking at the front one. Okay, then we're going to spread it apart. So I've got the hydraulic hoses pulled over here to where they're going to connect at, and I'm just going to tighten the fittings just snugly. Okay, now we're going to hook up the hoses. There is a black cap on the top of the tractor side and a yellow cap on the bottom. Does it matter which one they go in? Yes. How do you know? It all has to do with the hydraulic valve here. When we put this to the left, we want for that quick hitch to move or angle to the left. When it goes right, we want it to angle to the right. If you hook these up and you're getting the opposite results, just swap the hoses around to the other side. That's what we're going to try. Second one's in. Now we're going to start it and try it out. I'm going to start it up and we're going to try to angle it left and right. Now keep in mind, since the hydraulic cylinder and the hoses are all empty, it might take it a second for the tractor to fill all of that with the hydraulic fluid. Behavior was as expected, so that means I put the hoses on right the first time. So we're just going to add the dust caps onto each hose. So, you know, this one, the top one's black, the bottom one's yellow. We'll add those on there. And the only other thing to really do is look for leaks at this point. Everything's working, everything's attached. If you haven't already, make sure at this point that you've gone through and tightened all your connections. That means the hydraulic fittings, the hoses, making sure that you have those pins in there and the cotter pins spread out. Make sure all that stuff's done and go ahead and try it out. Looks like it's working like it's supposed to. No leaks or anything like that. Hope this helped you out. If you just have a front quick hitch that does not have the angling kit and you want to install one, now after watching this, hopefully you see it's a pretty easy install. You can do it yourself, save yourself some money. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and hit the reminder bell so you get notifications when I post new videos.